my name is Angel and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, we're just gonna do a chill little like makeup tutorial because I've been getting this comment a lot where a lot of people have been saying like the over-edited type vibe is a little hard to follow. So I hope that my YouTube can just be a little bit of a chill situation. I need to actually shave my face. So I'm using the e.l.f. soap brow, but I discovered recently that you can get the same effect with a bar of soap. So I'm just gonna clean off my spoolie that has product on it so you guys can really get into it. The reason why I lay my brows down is when my brows are just like flat like that, I'm just able to like fill them in a lot better. Wet, it has to be wet. And then we're just going to it's white right now, but I promise it'll dry down properly. And you want to press as you're brushing, period, which is wait. And I'm actually gonna go in with my brow pomade, and I honestly just fill in the ends. I know it looks crazy right now. I promise it'll look so good soon. So I'm just gonna take my concealer and carve out. As you can see, like my brow actually comes down here, but the way that I like the shape of my brow is different. But I don't want to shave it, you know what I mean? Because I want to look good when I'm not wearing makeup. So when I lay my brows down with the soap stuff, it makes it so that like when I put the concealer on top of that area, the hairs are so flat that you don't even notice that that's not my hair, you know what I mean? Period. And I just take like the extra product, layer it on top here. I feel like this is the first time I've done them so lifted. They're so lifted right now. Like it's like so spooky. The nice thing with the brows is you can always fix them. I like to do my eyes next, and this is the inspo. The creator is named Mason Lane and just has like the most ridiculous, like insane makeup looks. Ever since going on that brow trip with James Charles and getting all the creative paints, I've been trying to dip into every different color and do looks with different colors. I feel like I've done lots of pink looks. I've done a few yellow. I haven't done a lot of orange. I want to do more orange. I think I did one orange maybe, but I really want to maximize the colors that I'm not comfortable with. I've done a couple of purple. I tend to lean more towards like the black, the pink, you know, the browns. I really love those. I'm actually just gonna put in some concealer on my eye. I'm using a different concealer than my usual. So this Fenty Beauty concealer is my favorite concealer, period. Mwah, no bars. This is my favorite concealer ever, but it's also really expensive. When I first started doing my makeup, I bought this CoverGirl that is in the wrong shade. So I just use it to prime my eyes now. I don't like feeling like I'm wasting. I'm just patting the product on. So the reason why you want to prime your eyes is for a few reasons. Number one, if your base is like sticky, then your eyeshadow is going to stick so much better to your eyelids versus just going on dry. Number two, you're going to get more pigment. If you start with a base that's like lighter than your actual skin tone. That's why you see a lot of creatives when they do like the super rainbowy looks, they'll start with a white base because color tends to like pop and show off more on a white base. Those are just a few reasons why we're going to prime our eyes. But also when you're doing a look that has like spaces on it with your whole face full of makeup, if you don't put a base on your eyes and you just put color on your eyes, it just looks incomplete. It doesn't look right because the rest of your face is literally covered in makeup except for the eyelids. I have my paint and shade Left on Red. You can use red eyeshadow, so I'm just gonna take a little bit and then start off with the wing portion. And I'm just tapping it. In the same way that I'm just tapping the product on, that's how you're also going to put on your eyeshadow. And I'm just like tapping lighter at the ends because I just want that ombre effect. I'm actually gonna go back and just like reinforce that color at the bottom part. You see what I mean? I'm gonna tell you something that a lot of people don't tell you about creating an eyeshadow look that's like ombre is you can always come back and layer. Layering is the key. You can blend something out and then come back and pack on more product. You can always build on what you have. And I'm starting to lose that red color. I just came in with some more at the bottom. Like I'm just barely touching the thing. Pat that on. Take that same clean brush and just blend out the ends. There's something else too that a lot of people don't tell you is this takes time. It's okay for it to take time. I know it looks really quick because of the editing, but I promise you The part that takes the most time in all of my makeup looks is my eyes. Now I'm gonna go in with the paint in the shade Ink, a pointed brush. Sometimes you're not gonna have the things that you need, so you have to get creative with it. I've used like toothpicks to get like the thin lines, like if I'm doing the type of makeup that requires like detailed work. Use at your own discretion, like be safe with it. Never put those items close to your eyes because your eyes can get infected. The reason why I just cut that because I really want that red line to be really crisp. I don't know if you can tell there's a difference. There's a difference, I promise. I'm actually just gonna take this, and I know that makes no sense, and just like buff that out at the bottom. I'm gonna take some red in the back of a makeup brush. I know this makes no sense whatsoever, and I'm just really going to buff out that black. Cute. So now that the eye makeup is pretty much done, I'm gonna go in with my concealer. Oh my gosh, I lied. I'm gonna go with this primer. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish primer. I usually put it on my nose because my nose has these like crevices and in the corners here. Then I just like to take the leftover product and then just go over under my eyes. So different primers are gonna do different things for you. There's primers that are gonna hydrate your skin. There's primers that are gonna make your skin more matte. Oh my gosh, which just reminds me, I have the One Size Secure the Sweat Until Dawn primer. I forgot that I have this. Maybe I'll throw that on the areas that I sweat lots. I tend to sweat a lot above my mouth. I tend to sweat lots on my forehead. Even put some under my eyes. Oh my gosh. Scandalous! I originally bought this product so that I could test it in conjunction with, at the same time as I was testing this, and when I tell you I have not, these two products have been sold out everywhere, and these are impossible to get in Canada. Impossible. I've been searching for a year and a half trying to get a hold of these products, and I just have not been able to find it. They're sold out all the time. Even when I went to LA, I searched at Sephora there, and it was just like sold out everywhere. But one day, and I happened to be at Sephora, and I was like, you know what, like, let me just like look around and see, you know, because it's been a while since I've been in Sephora. And I went to the one size section, and they had one of this, and they had 3 of these left, and they had just gotten them that same day. And of course, I had to text one of my friends, and I was like, oh my gosh, you'll never believe. She's also a makeup creator. And I was like, you'll never believe what I found. And she was like, oh my gosh, grab me one if there's one. So I went to a different Sephora, and when I got to that Sephora, there were only 2 of these sprays left of the waterproof setting spray. And the reason why people are going crazy for them is because of this. And when I traveled to hot places, like when I was in Zim, sweat was my biggest op. It was really, really, really hard to do a makeup look because within minutes of wearing the makeup already, because it's so humid and hot, your face is starting to come off, you know? So this is supposed to help prevent that, and then and then you use a setting spray on top of that. You're locked in that you can even swim. And maybe I'll do like a little video and let you guys know what I think when the time does come. But for now, back to this concealer. So concealer placement is honestly just like really super dependent on your face shape, and then because of my eye makeup, I like to put some at the ends here and make it pop. And then I also place some concealer in this area here. Put some concealer here. It just gives the illusion that my smile lines aren't there. I promise you, just experiment with different places of where to put it. 'Cause some people do like the triangle, some people do this, some people just do 1, 2, 3 dots, you know what I mean? It really just depends on what you're trying to cover and what your face shape looks like. But you usually want to highlight the areas that are naturally highlighted. So if you're looking at my face right now, you can see that it's naturally dark here. So this is where my contour or bronzer is gonna go, and it's naturally bright in this area. My face is naturally bright here, but like darker here, but then lighter down here. It's light here, dark here, and dark around my mouth. It's naturally bright at the bridge of my nose here, but then dark on the sides. So like you just want to really pay attention to the light, how the way that the light hits your face. And so that's why you'll find that I put bronzer in this area, because already you see like my face is just naturally dark here. So I'll put my bronzer here, and then the concealer will be up here. My blush will go in between the two to blend everything together. This area is naturally going to be lighter, and then down here I also put my contour slash bronzer, and that's just because my face is just naturally dark in those areas. Cute. But of course these smile lines are naturally dark, but I'm not going to contour them. You just have to do it in a way that makes sense. I like to brighten my smile lines because I don't like how dark they are. I like that I have them, but I don't like how dark they are. So I'll put concealer in those areas.
Very similar. It's like one from here. And so you basically use shorts to build a platform that you want from it, right? It has to all fall in the same value prop. A lot of your TikTok will go off shorts, like video stuff. Shorts mixed in with like the fact that it's just plans. And so it's like YouTube, the thing that YouTube had to like graduate from. We were classic, comparison on all the time. Like, rather have to, you can make a career on it.
And I'm just gonna take some setting spray and press that into my smile line. One of my favorite creators who also struggles with smile lines did a video where she was showing that the way that she keeps her smile line, her makeup from like creasing. And this is what makeup creasing looks like. If I don't do all these extra steps, if you have smile lines, makeup is just naturally going to separate in that area. In the same way that like if you have lines underneath your eyes, the makeup is naturally gonna start separating in that area just because there's so much movement. Whereas like my cheeks are flat and there's not a lot of like movement on my cheeks. But in my smile lines, every time I talk, there's movement, so the makeup just naturally shifts out of that area. She uses actually an eye primer, like a proper eye primer. Somewhere here I have the Fenty Beauty one, and she uses an eye primer because it's thicker and stickier in consistency, and then she'll put on her concealer on top of that, and then immediately set and bake that area, let it sit for like 3 to 5 minutes, and then she takes it off, and then her makeup doesn't move from that area. I've tested that and I actually absolutely love that, but I'm out of my eye primer. But this is just one of the ways that I help set this area is instead. One of the things I actually want to invest in is another foundation, because I realized that I've been shade matching wrong. I've been matching my foundation to my face instead of matching my foundation to the back of my neck. So you're actually not supposed to get foundation that matches your face, because your face naturally is always going to be lighter than the rest of your body, right? So that's why I have lots of photos where like if my skin is showing, I'm screwed, because so my foundation matches this area. When I put on my foundation on my face is gonna look completely uniform with the rest of my body. And so that's what I want to try this year. It's not pressing, it's not like something I'm gonna do right away, because I currently have all of these complexion products. This is 6 products, so it's not really deep for me yet. This is technically a foundation. It says foundation stick. It's by Black Radiance. I got it in a darker shade because I just really love the consistency and I use it to bronze. I'm going to put some bronzer in these areas here, partly because I like to make my forehead look smaller than it is. So that's why you'll see me do something like that. I like the natural butt chin that I have, so I put some there. I put some on my jawline, period. I like doing a little C, smaller brush for this brush. I'm not using this brush the way that it was intended to. This, I'm pretty sure, is like a highlight brush, but in this moment, it's a nose contour brush. Nothing in makeup is like set in stone. Nothing is deep, you know? If you don't have the things that you need to do what you need to do, you always find a way around it. I don't actually start blending my concealer. That's one of the last things I will do. The longer the concealer sits, the more it's just able to stay exactly where you put it. The amount of brightness that you're seeing right now, after it's blended out, it'll stay this level of you know? Because usually when you blend something out, you tend to lose the color. Like you'll see like this is not the same shade as this line. Again, this looks more like a shadow compared to this line, so it's not the same shade of darkness. So that's why I let my concealer sit, because the longer it sits, the more it's gonna like retain that coverage. Best way I can put it. And I'm just gonna tap on it in here. Period. And so with this area, you always want to be flicking up. You don't want to flick down. You almost always want to be flicking up. So I'm like dabbing, but also flicking up as I go. Because we still want this area that's naturally bright to stay bright. But if I flick down, then it just all blends in together. Like this line and this line will blend in together. That's not what we want. And I actually bring a little bit of bronzer into my cheekbones. You saw me blending out the edges of my concealer before. It's just so that when this area, when we come to this step, you can see how seamlessly the two are blending into each other. And here, I'm not flicking, I'm just dabbing. I want my product to stay in the same area. I don't want it to move, and that's just gonna help define my jawline. Now, this jawline is not necessary, but I know some people have like round faces, so the jawline doesn't make sense. But for me, it makes sense because I have a little bit of a jawline, but I want more of a jawline. Stacey Theroux, which she's known as one of the goddesses of a balm-based makeup, does this before blending out the rest of her makeup. Is she sets her face. And that's so spooky because I set my face at the end. No, this is the perfect time to try it because I'm not going anywhere. Period. I know my face looks so spooky right now. So we're just gonna set everything nice. And I got a set of 8 off of Amazon. It's linked in my Amazon storefront. And setting powder is exactly what it sounds like. It sets your face. So a lot of people have asked me like, my setting spray isn't working because why is it that I put on my concealer, put on the setting spray, throughout the day I'm finding that the stuff is moving in and the creases. It's because you have to, every cream product on your face has to be set with a powder product. Every single time. Is anything that is cream has to be set with powder. Otherwise it will move. So with my setting powder, I like to go with this Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 30 or medium deep, a powder that's a similar, if not the same shade as your skin tone. So I'm gonna take that powder and I'm just going to dab that into my face. So I'm first going into the powder, using the lid to tap off the excess, and then going in and just pressing that into everywhere that I have concealer. That's gonna keep the product from moving around too much. I'm going to set my smile lines. I'm gonna go in around my chin. I'm actually also gonna go in this area that's like naturally light. I'm gonna go in just in the middle part of my forehead here that's naturally light. Anywhere there's like naturally light you want to set. Notice I'm not setting the bronzer, not yet. And I know I look super crazy right now. I'm actually gonna take a different brush. I'm gonna go in with a powder bronzer, or before I invest in a powder bronzer, because this baby is this much and that's pretty hefty for your first makeup kit. You can definitely find bronzers that are cheaper than the Charlotte Tilbury one, but the Charlotte Tilbury one is unmatched. I used to go in with a warm eyeshadow instead. And when I tell you I love eyeshadow down because you can use it for so many different things, if you're interested, you can check out my YouTube video of all the different ways that you can use eyeshadow. And I'm going to go in and set anywhere that I bronzed. Like I said, anytime you put on any cream product, you have to set it with powder. That is the rule. If makeup had any rules, and makeup really doesn't have any rules, but if you're just getting started, that's a good way to think about it. Setting spray technically is just gonna help melt everything together. So when you do all of these powder, when you go in with your setting spray, it's gonna wet all the powder products and then just like blend them nicely so that it doesn't look so powdery. If you like this matte look, you can use a matte setting powder or matte setting spray. But if you like a dewy look, you can use a dewy setting spray. I'm gonna go in on my nose a little bit. This is what my face looks like up close. I'm gonna take a different powder puff. I use different powder puffs for different things. And I'm actually going to bake. I have this One Size Ultra Pink setting powder. I don't even know if I can use this to bake, but I'm curious to see what it's going to look like. LOL, jokes. Not for baking, maybe for setting. That might be good because it's very translucent on my skin. Like I put it on, you don't even know that I put it on there. But I'm actually gonna go in with my favorite, and the label is even gone. Is the Fenty Beauty banana powder. You want a baking powder? I've seen on TikTok people are starting to come back to baking. I never left. Me and baking, we've been like this. We've been locked in this whole time that all of you guys have been chilling on baking. You've been doing your, I've even been doing my no makeup looks with baking. It's giving Hulk Hogan. Ugh. Period. Okay, I'm gonna go in under my eyes and bake. So what baking does is it brightens. We're not leaving it like this. And instead of before when I was tapping into this and tapping the excess on the lid, we're actually not gonna tap the excess off on the lid. We're just going to tap into this product and put it on our face, all of it. I know it looks like a lot, and it is a lot. This is going to lock in your smile lines. I'm crazy, so I actually probably go in with like a second layer. So I'm just like tapping that into my skin because I plan on using this makeup for a long time. Before I use a full product, I always purchase a small product. Now mind you, I've had this banana powder, but let me put the stamp here and I'll show you when I bought this. But before I bought this, I actually went through like 2 or 3 of these. And this is the affordable options, and this is the same banana powder. It's small. This one lasted me quite a bit of time. This one probably lasted me maybe like 9 months to a year. But this one I've had for a few years and it still has a lot of product in it. In fact, I kept this container once it was empty and I scooped out a teaspoon out of this one into this one so that when I travel, I don't have to take my big one, I can take the small one, and it's still a cute little travel situation. So there's lots of products in here, as you can tell, but it's legit just like a teaspoon in here. The bigger products definitely will last you longer, but it's like you don't want a big product when you don't like the product or don't use necessarily. Everybody's been talking about the Glow Recipe products, so I used my Sephora points to purchase this. It came in a set with the Glow Recipe primer, I think, or serum, the niacinamide dewdrops. Everybody has the big bottles, but again, like I promise you, you always want to test out a smaller version of the product, or if you know somebody who has a product, or you know, whatever, like always test it out first before going and buying the big products. Now that I've tried this, as you can see, she's basically empty. I need to purchase the bigger one. The toner I love, and I know a lot of people don't like this particular one. They have a range of like different, I don't want to say flavors, but they have different flavors, I guess, of this toner, like different ones. This one is the watermelon one. I love this watermelon one. How long do I usually bake for? It depends. I feel like a few minutes is good, like 3 to 5 minutes is good. I just want to show you what creasing looks like. So I'm actually going to go in with a blush. You want to put blush everywhere that you would sunburn. Like, you think about a sunburn, you think about the cheeks, obviously. So I'm just going in between that bronzer and that concealer. I like to get the little balls on my cheeks. I even like to like bring it a little bit into here. I think about sunburning on your forehead. I think about getting sunburned on my brush is falling apart, but on my chinny chin. And I think about also getting sunburned on my nose. Now at this point in time, you're seeing how very powdery and like dry my face looks. This is where setting spray comes in. Your setting spray is just gonna melt everything nicely. I use something. Not everything on my face looks smooth and like melted together almost. And last but certainly not least, I love to go in with my Fenty Beauty Diamond Balm. I've had this Diamond Balm. This is when I purchased it, and I've had it this whole time. She's coming apart, but there's lots of products in there. Put it on the bridge of my nose. Because you see how this hair is now starting to stand up? And how you can see this hair. I don't want to see this hair. But this is an issue that I have because this is a big no-no in makeup school. You never want to put cream products on top of powder products, with an exception. You know, if you accidentally like miss and your lip liner is not correct, or anything like that, you can always go in back in with concealer. So I'm not just gonna take some concealer. Same thing on the other side. Like, one of the ways that I love to take my eyeshadow looks to the next level is adding glitter. I am unhinged and I should probably be stopped. Period. This little palette, I got this in one of my first PR packages through Yes Style. It's the Glitterpedia palette by Unleashia. Love these glitters. I love the yellow one and I love this blue one that comes out lavender actually, and the pink one in the middle. I haven't been able to play around with everything else. This pink is actually gorgeous. I think we're gonna dip into this yellow a little bit. We're gonna get into this lip combo. I actually have a whole series on my TikTok account dedicated to lip combos because I was stuck always making the same type of lip combo. So I started trying new things. All out of my black eyeliner by e.l.f. This is what I've been using as a lip liner. I love this stuff. I'm definitely gonna grab another one. Your waterline is just one of those things. You just have to suck it up, open your eye and do it. There's no trick to it. It doesn't hurt. It shouldn't hurt. It shouldn't burn. You shouldn't be touching your eye. I'm gonna do the inner part of my eye. You just wanna, I'm actually going to come out like that. Take the back of the makeup brush and just blend that out. I'm squinting so much because I don't have any more contact solution. I have like a little bit. I need to buy more. I can't wear my contacts without rinsing them first. So like I'm struggling to see. Everything is so blurry. I'm actually gonna take this brown lipstick, this Huda Beauty lipstick. I don't know why it's melted. Ever since I bought it, it just melted. My house is cold. That's why I'm always wearing like sweaters. I'm failing to understand why it's always melted. I'm like, who hurt you? And like I said, I messed up. I'm gonna take my concealer. No biggie. Oh! Oh my gosh. This is what happens when you're blind. I was like, why doesn't this look right? I have no lashes. Why did it take me like 3 tries to get that lash on? Anyways, the way that you're going to put on a lash, I don't want glue on this side or any of the flat surfaces of the lash. You want the glue on top of the lash because we're gonna stick it on like that, not like that. Please, I beg of you, I beg of you. I've seen so many people do that and it pains me. Number 2 that pains me of seeing people who put on false lashes is people who put their lashes on and you can clearly see a separation between where the lash is and your lash line. Make sure that your lashes sit on your lash line. And you can take them off and put them on, put them back on as many times as you need to. Is you're gonna take a mirror, I have this small mirror, and you're gonna put it underneath you so you can still see your eye. And then you're going to lower this right onto your lash line. And for us girlies with the curly lashes, you almost want to tuck it underneath almost. You can see my lash line is like underneath. With your mirror in hand, while the glue is still tacky, press and hold the middle part down. As long as you get it down, you can worry about everything else afterwards. So now I'm gonna take the outside part and stick it on, period. That's 2/3 of the lashes on. Then I'm gonna go in on the inner part of my eye and stick that part on. Make sure your lash is secure and on your eyes before you start doing anything of the next step. You're gonna take something that's clean. You can use your fingers for all I care. You're going to press your natural lash, or you can use tweezers, but I know people use tweezers, but I've poked myself in the eye way too many times. And you're just going to press your lash into the actual lashes, period. And that's how you put on the lash. I feel like this makeup look is very like now so you guys can see the result. before we finish the look, I'm gonna go off and I'm gonna be actually filming a separate YouTube video where I'm gonna be showing you guys how to lay a wig on top of your braids. Because I don't believe that just because I have my braids that I have to limit my hairstyles. Like, what do you think this is? So I'm just gonna come back to you guys with the finished look. So this is the finished look with the hair. Oh, period. So I crimped it and I'm officially a lover of crimpness. I love this crimp. It might have taken me almost 2 hours to crimp this entire head, but it's worth it. And I'm gonna take this off. I'm not even gonna sleep with it. So the next time I put this wig on, it's still gonna be crimped. It's still gonna be styled. It's still gonna be ready to go. And this dress is from Shein. I clipped it here because PG-13, guys, PG-13. I put a gloss on top of the lip and I feel like it's just giving. I actually lost the other earring and I'm not even wearing it, but it's perfect because only one ear is showing anyway, so it's like, is it that deep? No, it's not that deep. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions ever, makeup tutorial wise, or like literally anything, make sure you comment below and I will respond to you. I respond to every single one of my comments. Every single one of you guys matters to me. So I hope this tutorial was follow along able, or that you're able to learn something, because one of the biggest things that I hear from people on TikTok is like the short 1 minute videos. Even though I try to slow them down, the 1 minute videos are really hard to follow along. And I know as a beginner, it's like, it's so much better to just like slowly be able to go along with the video. And if it's cut really quickly, I'm not going to be able to include everything in there. So like in the short 30-second or even the 1 minute or even the 2-3 minute makeup tutorials, I can't include every step I do and everything I do. And so that's why I really enjoy creating longer YouTube videos. So if you guys really like this vibe, let me know and I will continue to do so. But otherwise, for shorter videos, check out my TikTok. I'm going to be doing my transitions. And I don't think a lot of people realize this. I'm almost at 200K, by the way, on TikTok. You guys don't realize I have a full-time job outside of this, and I do content creation in the middle of the night for funsies. It's almost midnight. Usually I'm creating content from like around this time until like 6 a.m. and y'all know this because you'll see me on live till like 6, 7, 8 a.m. and then I'd be napping quick and then going to work and then coming back, napping quick and doing the content tape. Thank you so much for continuing to support me. I really appreciate you. I don't think you guys realize. You give me life. You actually breathe life into me. And I'm talking too much now, Angel. Bye. I love you. I'll see you in the next video. I know I said goodbye, but then I realized that I should come back and let you guys know. It's been almost 12 hours since I did my makeup and no creasing around the mouth. This is what it's looking like IRL, up close and personal. Even under my eyes, no really creases, but she's giving. Period. Now I gotta take this off because I gotta be up in a few hours. Lame. How lame is it to be me?